Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a little roundup of a brand that I have been so excited to try. I've been trying it over the course of, I would say, a month on and off because I went on a bit of a spree buying a lot of affordable things to share with you guys in the hopes of a 10 under 10 video again, some hot or nots like I'm doing right now, and this time we are going to be featuring Found Beauty. And I have everything. I have eyeshadows, I have face palettes, foundation, color correctors, concealers, lip products. Now this line is incredibly extensive and I did purchase the majority of this myself. Found did send me a small sampling of, I believe, 4 items to try, and then I spent like $100 on this stuff on my own. But as always, the opinions are always 100% my own, so that is never anything you need to worry about. So I have mostly makeup, and then I did pick up 2 skincare products that I will feature at the end of this video. So let's just start with sort of the order in which I would apply it. Well, first and foremost, I did also want to mention this isn't the most clean brand in the history of the world. I don't need any more green beauty police on my videos, so please stop doing that. Whatever you are okay with using, I love that, and whatever I'm okay with using, I love that too. So let's just move on. Anyways, this brand is sort of anywhere from the $9.88 range to the $14.88 range. Haven't really seen anything go much above that or much under it, but this is such a fabulous roundup of products I'm really excited to share. So foundation, you know I love to try me a good foundation, and this is the Found Nourishing Liquid Foundation made with raspberry oil. Now I got the shade 130, which is light medium. I will say it is a little bit on the darker side. I took it down my neck and everything. I'm wearing a long sleeve so we could get away with it, but I do wish I went one shade lighter. This pulls really quite orange as well, so keep that in mind when you are shopping for your shade. I did also want to mention that this is sold exclusively at Walmart, so I did most of my ordering because every Walmart around me just really sucks and they don't have any displays at all. It is only in select, and Walmart website I hate. Some of the package, the way it was delivered was atrocious, but that's sort of what I expect from Walmart, to be quite honest with ya. Have stuff on my teeth per usual. Anyways, I got the shade light medium. Now, like the name suggests, it is quite a nourishing foundation. However, when I first put it on, I think it sort of just sits on top of the skin. As I wear it, I like it a lot more. Am I gonna go out of my way to say this is my most favorite foundation ever? No, but I think for the price, which is $12.88, I believe, I think it's a good option to try. Anybody with oily skin, I really don't think you are going to get on with this. And I showed you guys in the close-up, the coverage on this is not insane. It's not crazy. It's just good at evening out sort of the skin tone. Will cover any sort of big areas of redness, but the hyperpigmentation is still peering through. So that's sort of the scoop on that one. Wear time is decent. I don't get excessively oily. It's just a middle of the road foundation for me. Worth a try. I think more mature and dry skins will get on with that one. Moving on to a product that was a total bust for me, unfortunately. I was so excited about this product, but everything from the packaging to the formulation I am not a huge fan of, and this is the Found Color Correcting Concealer. Now I love the tube aspect of it. I think that is much more convenient than the pans that I usually use. This is my one from Root that I've completely used up. Before that I was using Jane Iredale, but this has a brush tip, and when you squeeze it, the product just comes out. It gets, number one, the brush gets hard, so then the product comes out in like a weird spurt. Like, look how much product just came out for one light squeeze. It's just ridiculous. And then the shade is such a light peach, and it is like water. It just completely disappears, does not keep its peach tone, does no color correcting at all, and I find it's really quite a drying product as well. So I'm assuming that the formulation on all of the ones, I have the peach one, they have a purple and a green, are the same. I just wouldn't recommend. I don't think that they do their job. And even if they did do the color correcting aspect, which unfortunately they don't, I think the formulation is a little bit too dry for my liking. Now let's move on to some other skin products here. I also have the Full Coverage Concealer, I believe it's called. Yes, the Full Coverage Concealer, and then I have the Contour and Highlighting Stick Duo in the shade medium. Both of these came completely broken. You could see that the packaging is just a big hot mess on these. I really wanted to try them, however, so I wasn't going to bother returning. These are like $11.88 a piece as well. This one might be $9.88, the concealer. I'll have more information on everything down below, so I'll stop mentioning prices. But the sculpting duo, I actually really like this product. More so the sculpting end than the highlighting end, because I think the shade medium has a great contour color for me, but this highlighting color is just a little bit too dark. It is a nice color though, so you can sort of clean up underneath your concealer. I think that I could get down with. Your contour, I mean, but other than that, I'm not really reaching for it. So you pull this out, it has these little sticks. There's not a ton of product at all, but I think it's a good price point nonetheless. And you just do need a little bit because this is really, really pigmented. So I just draw this on like I normally would. I did a really heavy jaw contour right now because I'm taking some makeup inspiration a la Marilyn Monroe. I could talk about that more in a different video if you guys want. It's the inspiration for the eye look and that heavy sort of contour that I drew more up on the jawline, but this blends out beautifully. Just make sure you aren't moving it all over the place because it is really pigmented, so you just need a small amount. Make sure you're placing it exactly where you want to in the hollow of those cheeks, on the temple and underneath that jawline. And then I went in with my foundation brush to blend it out. You can go in with a beauty sponge. I am back on a huge kick of the Hint Flawless Complexion sponge. It's $8. It's awesome. And then I can go over that and really, really soften up the edges. But this is a really nice product. I do think it pulls a little bit warm for a contour color, but once it's on the skin and set and beautiful, I really, really enjoy that product. Just be warned, it might come all busted up in the package. Luckily, the contour side wasn't busted. It was the shade I don't really use. Just something to keep in mind. Then we have the Full Coverage Concealer. Not a fan of this product at all. I was really excited when I read it. The formulation of this is so dry, and I honestly don't think it's that full coverage. I just think it's cakey, hard to blend, way too dry. I did show you guys demoing it on my hyperpigmentation. I think it might be good for that because it won't move around so much due to the stiffness of the product, but I just don't think the coverage is that excellent, and I got this in the shade Light. Not a big fan of that product. Let's move into the two palettes. I love these two palettes. Actually, it's more like a love-hate. I don't really know how I completely feel about them, but for the price, I think they're so different. So nice to find something like this in Green Beauty, and of course, the price is always right. So then after I did my contouring, I went in with the Sculpt and Define Contour Palette. This is in the shade Light Medium. So we have the lightest shade Shell, the center shade Maple, and then the darkest shade Nutmeg. I think the tones on these are just divine. Absolutely amazing. The texture of them is nice and smooth. The pigmentation is nice without being just completely overwhelming and difficult to work with. This is just a really, really nice palette. So today I took the center shade Maple and I set that cream contour just to make it a little bit more defined, and I just used this Red Apple lipstick blush brush that I have been loving. So I will link that down below as well, but all these shades are great. I did take a Terry Miyahira contour brush and I tried to highlight the center of my face. Don't think it did a ton. I think it's just a little too close to my actual skin tone. I think I need something a little bit brighter or maybe even a little bit more pigmented, but this is really nice to clean up under the contour line as well, which is what I used it for, and I like that because it's nice and defined and not overly pigmented where it just looks crazy and stark and a little too chiseled for everyday wear. It just cleaned it up nice and easy and made that area really bright. This is one of my favorite products I picked up. Then before I get into the highlighting palette, I quickly wanted to mention the Found Radiant Illuminating Drops. I was so excited for this. I was like, oh my god, move over, Cover FX. We don't need you anymore. That price point's crazy. We have something cleaner. It's a liquid. This is going to be blinding, and it's just not. I did get the shade Moonlit. I did want the more champagne golden tone, but it was sold out at the time of purchase. You do get 9 milliliters worth of product, so it looks little, but I mean realistically I don't think we need any more than this, and then the price is only $12.88 I believe, but has that little dropper applicator. You put it on the back of your hand, and when you put it on the back of your hand you're like, oh boy, that's gonna be good stuff, because it looks really quite intense when you heavily apply it. However, when I go with just a little bit of my finger on the tops of the cheekbones, it's just subtle, and it is pretty, but it's just very subtle, and I don't think you need to use a cream really to achieve that. If you do want a subtle everyday glow, I think this is a really nice product. I think the tone is really great because it's not so overwhelmingly pink that like you have to be Snow White to pull it off. I do think it looks good on my skin tone. It's just a little more subtle than what I'm going for. This can be built up, but I think that's just a lot of work when I'd rather use something like the highlighting palette. And the highlighting palette I got in the shade Luminous Glow. I don't know if there's any other shades in here, to be quite honest with you, because there are 3 completely different tones. I think one would suit every single skin tone. Now, the thing to mention with this product is we do have the lightest shade Moonstone, which is a more yellow tone. We have the center shade, which is much more pink, Rose Gold. It's not rose gold, it's just a full-fledged pink. And then we have the shade Topaz. So I'm assuming these two would be more on lighter skins, Topaz more on a deep complexion. But I do like Topaz on myself. I will say the tone of it is just a little bit off, and something about it just is off to me, but when it's on the skin with like a full face of makeup, I can get down with it. And I did also want to mention that Topaz is more pigmented than Moonstone and Rose Gold. Not by a ton, but it is my favorite. However, my favorite mixture is a mixture of these two, just to make the tone of this not so silvery. I feel like this has a really silvery, cool tone to it that doesn't suit dark skin tones the best. So it's sort of like, maybe a mixture of these two would be good. However, I like the fact that it's in a complete palette, so you can mix and match. And as you can see, the glow on this is real. It's really, really a nice product. Then let's move along to eyes. We're almost done here. Star of the eyes is, of course, going to be this eyeshadow palette. And this is my favorite product of everything that I have tried, hands down. This will run you $14.88. This is in the shade 10 Nude, and there is a more cool tone version of this. However, I love this palette because it's 12 pans for 15 bucks. It's like a buck an eyeshadow. You can't really beat it. The pigmentation is beautiful. The texture is smooth. The blendability is great. And then half the palette is more warm tone, half the palette's more cool toned. It's giving me sort of Sonia Kashuk vibes. Has the perfect mixture, I think, of shimmering shades as well as matte shades. This is a one and done eyeshadow palette to the upteenth degree. Now let me walk you through sort of the look I did today. I took the shade Alabaster, which is the first matte shade, all over the lid just as a blank canvas. Then I went in with a mixture of the next two shades, Champagne and Sandstone, to sort of bring it into the inner corner and all over the lid, dust it over the lid just to catch a little bit of light. Then I went in with the shade Wheat, and this is the most beautiful neutral crease shade that I can imagine working on so many different complexions. Took it on a big fluffy brush through my crease, nice and easy. Then I deepened it up with a mixture of Sable and Espresso, and Sable does have a bit of a sheen to it, but when mixed with Espresso, I didn't really notice it catching the light at all, so that was really great. And then I also took the combination of those three, Wheat, Sable, and Espresso, underneath the lash line to create that sort of faux wing that I've been doing. And basically I use this wing. Marilyn Monroe used to do this trick with her false lashes. I have it very dramatic today as well as no false lashes, but if you do it more subtly, it just looks like your eyelashes are so heavy that they're creating a shadow under the eyes, and it's just a very sultry, sexy effect that I'm really into. So I sort of wing that out that way, and then I wet the darkest two shades, Espresso and Onyx, which is a matte dark brown and a matte black, to make my little wing. These performed so great wet. I can't get over it. Made such a nice, sleek little wing. Just like that, that's the eyes done. And as you can see, I used a ton of shades. I've used every shade in this palette. They all perform beautifully. You can get a super easy wearable 1-2 eye look. You could add a little bit of this nice warm color for a little bit of shimmer. You could do a smoky eye. This is a must-have pickup in my opinion. I just think it is fantabulous amazing. Moving on to something not so fabulous, we have the eye defining eyeliner, and I don't know what shade this is in. This is just the nude shade. I don't know exactly what it's called. Complete and total flop. I did demonstrate this for you guys in 2 different areas, so you can see that it's just not a great product. I showed you it in my waterline. Atrocious. I mean, just has no pigment at all. It's just so waxy and hard, and you have to really tug at your eye, and no pigment is deposited at all. And then I was like, okay, I know it doesn't work in the waterline, but in between my two wings, I've been adding a bit of highlight just to sort of differentiate the two and make the eyes look longer. So I tried coloring in the difference. It did nothing. It's just, the color is not bright enough. The texture of it is just a bust, and I'm really not into it. If this is reflective of all the other colors, I would say the eyeliners as a whole are a complete and total pass. Sorry about that one. And then I did use a combination of champagne and sandstone again to highlight that little area. Moving along to the mascara, I picked up the volumizing mascara because I'm all about some volume with the lashes. You guys know this about me. And I think this is a really good mascara. I don't think it's replacing my Hint Beauty Nocturne anytime soon, but if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option, this is great. Clearly, I think it gives better length than volume, if I'm honest with you, but the length on this is great. I think it worked really well on me. I think it wears well and is easy to remove as well. So that was a good little gem that I found there. However, the brush is huge and has a lot of product on it, so it can get a little bit messy, so just be careful with that one. And it also has a spiral effect. I mean, it's really quite cool, and it is a good, solid, decent mascara in my opinion. Rounding this off with a lip product, I had to really hold myself back because I wanted a lot, and I wanted some of the lip sets. They do have sets that have this formulation of liquid lip and a lip liner. I wanted those, but they were sold out, so forgive me. But I did pick up these shades Praline and then the dark shade in Rose Hip, and I wanted to do a nude and a dark shade because, as you guys know, sometimes they behave differently. Now, the formulation of this is really, really interesting for a matte liquid lip. They're really whipped, really runny. I mean, you can even tell, like, the noise it makes. It's just so light and moussey and whipped, and I think that makes it a little bit patchy. Not saying that these are impossible to work with, but they are on the more thin side. I am going to do a close-up of the lip I have on right now because this is one layer of the shade Rose Hip, and these take quite some time to dry down, but when they do, I think they are really, really nice. I think they wear nicely. I don't think they are overly drying on the mouth either. Do I think they're the most long-wearing, amazing lip product ever? No, but I think the shades are amazing and worth checking out. So that's really it on that matter. I sort of have a love-hate with the lip products in this lineup. And let's quickly round this video off with two skincare picks. Sorry, I know this is long, but I had a lot of products to share. I picked up the Found Brightening Bamboo Cream Scrub. This is a good cream scrub. Is it my favorite cream scrub? No, but I think it's a good, affordable option. It says 96% natural. Like I said, these are not the cleanest ingredients across the board in any of these products, but I wanted to mention them because I think they are readily accessible at Walmart. The price point is great, and a lot of them are very, very high performing. So this is a really good cream scrub. You get a ton of product. I think I might prefer the Acure Brightening Scrub because it's a little bit more abrasive, but if you have sensitive skin and you want something more creamy that's going to give a little bit of a light exfoliation, check that one out. And then I did also pick up the Found Green Tea and Apple AHA Nighttime Gel Pore Perfecting Gel that reveals brighter, smoother looking skin. Now, I only use that nighttime. I've been relatively inconsistent with it, I will say. However, this is not one of those miracle products where you're gonna put it on the next morning, you're gonna be like, my skin is new, it's perfect. I haven't noticed anything quite revolutionary in it, especially with the pores, but I am going to be trying it a little bit more religiously, and maybe you'll see it pop up in the future. But again, I think the price is so great on this product and worth giving a bit of a go. And I will also say it's not overly intense, so if you have more sensitive skin, that's something you can definitely try. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my little roundup of Found Beauty, Discover Found, exclusively available at Walmart. If there's anything that you guys have tried that you love, let me know. If there's anything you want to see reviewed in the future, let me know. I do want to order the Cool Tone palette. That's been sold out for quite some time, and I might see if it's on offer because I'm filming this on Black Friday right now. Anyways, thank you guys so much again for watching this video. I'll have every single product linked down below so you can check it out, as well as price point so you can see if that is interesting to you as well. But thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Catch me online anywhere else at Green Bunny Video, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!